Seeking Arrangements offers a new way of forming relationships between sugar babies and sugar daddies. An older man can seek out a younger female to spend time with and build a relationship with a mutual agreement on how the arrangement will work for both parties. There are currently 8 million active sugar babies using the site to find an arrangement with a daddy, an alternative way to fund their lifestyle rather than getting a part-time job. I'll be setting up an account on Seeking Arrangements to discover the pros and cons of using the site as a student in need of some extra income.
I'm quite apprehensive because I know that you can now Google photos. So I don't want anyone to be able to find my real Facebook. So I think this is a good photo. It's quite recent, but it isn't on the internet yet, which is the main thing that I'm concerned about. So there's quite a lot of questions on here. Like, it's quite personal. Very specific, which means like the men themselves are searching for somebody like very specific. I can already see in the background the type of men that are on it, which was the kind of man that I thought would be on it. Middle-aged businessman. My body type: slim, athletic, average, curvy, a few extra pounds, full and overweight or other. I guess, I don't know, curvy. It wants me to have a heading for an eye-catching first impression. I'm going to do student sugar baby. I don't want to put too much information in there just to kind of keep privacy for myself. It's actually quite surprising how many of them don't have photos, because that for me would be very off-putting. If I was messaged to go on a date with them, I wouldn't want to go on a date with someone who I didn't know what they looked like.
Before taking the plunge myself and arranging a date with a sugar daddy from Seeking Arrangements, I wanted to speak to someone who is experienced and already knows the ropes about what having a sugar daddy entails. This 20-year-old female wishes to remain anonymous, but she's currently living in London and she affords this with the help of 2 sugar daddies.
When did you first start having a sugar daddy?
So 2 years ago I was on holiday in south of France, and a friend of a friend asked for my number, and I was like, yeah, sure. And we were all on holiday together, so I spent the weekend with him, and then at the end of it he gave me a wad of cash, and I was like, well, this is new. And he was like, let's keep in contact. So when we came back to London, he took me out for lunch, and it just kind of went from there, and now we've been seeing each other for 2 years.
And is he your only sugar daddy?
No, I've met another one on Seeking Arrangement website, so I actually have 2 now.
And like, how do you compare the 2 of them in terms of like dates and things?
One of them is much more private. We like to like kind of just hang out in hotel rooms and stuff like that. And the other one, he takes me out to dinner, takes me to really expensive fancy restaurants. He took me last year to Vienna for the weekend, to Venice for a whole week, and so we spend a lot of time out together.
In terms of Seeking Arrangements, where you found your second sugar daddy, I have signed up to that, and I feel like there isn't a lot of safety kind of precautions and things on there. Like, how have you kind of found the site?
There are a lot of weirdos out there, and a lot of people just kind of just asking you to have sex for money. So I met this guy on just a basis, let's go and meet each other. And so we went for dinner, we had a good time, and then we're like, okay, we'll see you again, and then progress our relationship from there. Be careful, definitely. I know friends who have met guys and then they've got into a bit of scary situations, like they've taken them on holiday and then suddenly they've flipped and had to find hotels. So be super careful and make sure you actually know the person, and definitely tell somebody where you are.
Speaking to a real-life experienced sugar baby made me even more intrigued to explore the lifestyle myself. I received messages from a few older men seeking intimacy, but finally I settled on a user who was happy to meet during the day for a coffee. However, this didn't go entirely to plan.
So I am at Pure Cafe, which was where I was meant to be meeting my sugar daddy, and it has been half an hour since we said, and he hasn't turned up. I've been on my Seeking Arrangements and found out that he's blocked me. So there's no real reason that I can give you for this. Our last conversation was just confirming meeting.
After a failed attempt at our first sugar daddy date, I continued my hunt and arranged another date with a sugar daddy who's just 29 years old. We arranged to meet at the British Museum Cafe during the day for a coffee so that I could stay safe but also carry out my investigation.
This is my second attempt at a sugar date after my first one fell through. I feel a lot less nervous now that I've had that initial feeling before. I feel a bit more prepared for it. He is a bit younger, so I feel like we will have more to talk about. There's only 8 years difference between us. So it'd be interesting to try and find out why he wants to be on a site like Seeking Arrangements.
For the privacy of my sugar daddy, I didn't take a camera into the date. Instead, I made a mental note about the most intriguing aspects of the whole situation.
So I've just come back from my date. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I thought, like, what we're going to talk about. I was kind of worrying about that, but we had like a few things in common. I don't think I would pursue a like sugar daddy relationship still. It doesn't seem like something that appeals to me. Like, he brought up like money and like payments and like what we'd be doing, and I just didn't feel comfortable with that, because it feels like I'd rather just have a part-time job to fund myself through university. I can see why people do it, and I can see why there's students out there who want a sugar daddy, because it is an easier option, but for me, I feel more comfortable just earning my money myself.